Yeah. What's up? What's good? What's poppin'? What's cracking? What's percolating? What's really good news, man? Theo Butler, welcome to the Sunday Sit Down. I mean, I figured we all sitting down. I wish we had a guest and everything like that. Before we begin, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like button because y'all gonna forget because this is going to be an entertaining live. What do I mean? I mean, we in here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. No, even though, damn. I'm gonna try and get in and get out though and everything like that. Mr. Ray Smith, my elder, is in the building. We in. What is going on, Mr. Ray Smith? My elder, Mr. Ray Smith. I hope your weekend is going good. Hold on, wait. Let me check. Big Jairus is in the building. Let me see what we got going on and everything like that. I want to go ahead and get some stuff on out the way. And if we got two, we got a crew, so we can make it do what it's gonna do. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get all up in here and everything like that. Make sure I'm looking at stuff the way I want to, because Mr. Ray Smith did pop up in the building first. He did make his presence known first. But over here, oh man, damn. I was thinking something else had occurred. Well, at the very least, the Ohio State Buckeyes won. At the very least, the Ohio State Buckeyes won. Cleveland. Hey, if Flacco can't do it, you got Gabriel sitting right there. Yeah. That said, though, like I said, we are in here for a good time, not to be confused with a long time. And I want to start off with some stuff, if y'all don't mind. Let's go ahead real quick. We got Mr. Ray Smith in the building. I want to make sure I greet the folks that are already here because I don't want to be a rude host. No, I don't. I was raised better than that. I absolutely was. I was raised better than that. So we got Mr. Ray Smith in the building. We got Big Jairus in the building, and we got Napier. He of the difficult questions is also in the building. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we got going on for the day. The Sunday sit down. Hopefully you didn't eat. I didn't eat. Mrs. Butler did her thing. She did her thing. Yes, she did. Hasbro, Marvel Legends, new Super Skrull or Super Doe. Marvel Legends, while rising costs and variety are hurting the line. Yes, they're hurting the line. The MCU, shout out to Great for this one. How much money you done lost over the past 2 years? The MCU, not to be confused with Kevin Feige, not to be confused with Bob Iger. No. We're not talking about the individuals. No, we're talking about the company. Yeah, we're gonna get into that. And that coming from Forbes. That's coming from Forbes. This ain't got nothing to do with me. Black Panther, Intergalactic. What year was did Ta-Nehisi Coates' run come out again? Yeah, we're gonna jump into it. Oh Lord, yeah. You see what I got going on. You see what I got going on. You see what's behind it. It's football season. And with it being football season, we got to talk about it. Florida loses to South Florida. Is this Billy Napier's last year's head coach of the Florida Gators? Yes, we're going to get into it. Dwight Howard is a Hall of Famer. Yeah, we need to talk about that one. It's safe space. Safe space. Safe space. We're going to talk about that one. Safe space. Ryan Clark, Cam Newton, Channing Crowder, and Ray Lewis. Ignorant or intelligent? Hot takes. Yeah, we're gonna get into it. Make it make sense. Shout out to my brother Daryl. How is James Gunn successfully doing what many say is a detriment to the MCU, including Kevin Feige? Yeah, we're gonna get into it. And it is football season, right? So FSU, the Florida State Seminoles, why I feel like they should be the #1 ranked team in the country. Say what you want to say. It's my show. It's my show. I don't give a damn what Paul Feinbaum said. I don't. Also, I show speed. Ain't no fun when the rabbit got it, huh? Ain't no fun when the rabbit got it. No, it's not. Y'all go ahead and continue to greet each other and everything like that. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. Y'all could have been anywhere else today. We're going to make sure you get in, get out, and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. It's football season. And today, it's the first Sunday of football season. That's why we started the show at 6 o'clock. Yeah, we can get back and get into the game. Yeah. Maybe sure who we got in here. Ray Smith, Jared's not telling me everything like that. To those who aren't saying anything, you don't have to. You save space. Save space. Yeah. Let's see here. Where should we start off our show? You know what? I like this. I show speed. I've never been confused with being fast. Ain't nobody ever said. I don't think anybody ever used Theo and fast in the same damn sentence, unless they was talking about how fast somebody was running from me. Like, I don't think that's what it is. But about a month and a half ago, right? I show speed. He beat this young man. Dude, get up first thing in the morning, take about an hour-long shower, put his face in a bowl of ice, water, cold, get up, run along some cars and everything like that there with a mask on and everything like that. Yeah. All that. Well, buddy, show speed. He did. Challenged him. And Buddy lost. But he lost. And they had to race 2 more times after he lost the first time. And I show speed, put the video out there and everything like that. And, basically saying, Buddy was a sore loser. Basically saying Buddy was a sore loser. Now. So there's a video out there right now. I show speed. He racing against a dude in New York. Now, it looked like he got some Kanye West on. You know how arrogant you got to be to race somebody in some Kanye West? Like, you ain't even gonna put on no Chuck Taylors. Dude tell you he want to race you, and you so arrogant, you got on the Kanye West. What I want to call these things? What we call these right here? What we call these right here? Yeah, you got on the Kanye West version of this. That's how arrogant you are. So when Buddy blow you out, it's the shoes' fault because the shoes fell apart. Then you want to race him barefoot. Then you want to know where the nearest track is, which he could tell you where the nearest track is. Why you couldn't just take that L? See this, bro. Listen, young fella, young king. It's going. I know. I show speed. I get it. That's your whole name. That's your whole name. There's somebody on this earth faster than you. And when you lose to them, you got to be graceful. You got to be humble. You cannot blame it on the shoes, and you raced them in the shoes. You damn it! I don't. What's these shoes called again? I didn't forget. I got me some black. What's the name of these? Crocs. You cannot race that man. You cannot be arrogant enough to race that man in some dadgum Kanye West Crocs, lose, and then blame it on the Crocs. Maybe you should have raced him barefoot the first time around. Or with your name being I show speed, because I know dudes do this on the regular. Shout out to the fellows I used to kick the bubble with and everything like that. When you do something, you do it. You always got it on you. I don't know one softball player that ain't got a bat, a glove, and a softball in their trunk at all times. At all times. You can't tell, hey, say what? Oh, I got it in the trunk. Say that. You cannot say anything to a basketball player, a hooper, somebody that's always at the park. They keep their sneakers in the trunk along with the basketball. And this how serious you get where I'm at right here, the 850 area. There's not a professional football team in town. You would think it was, though, based on the type of passion we got for football in the 850 area. I know because I used to do it. There are men riding around in their car with a football, some football gloves, receiver gloves, and some cleats in the trunk. Some of them even got a kickoff tee, so anybody want it can get it. my question, how are you that damn arrogant to you disrespected yourself? You disrespected yourself. That's exactly what you did. You disrespected yourself, and you disrespected the spirit of the sport by complaining, making excuse. You weren't no better than old boy that you talked about. Yeezus crop. Money is the shoes. Gotta be more careful. Yeah. Toes through the Yeezy. Yeah. And do you know how disrespectful you gotta be to your money to race somebody in a pair of Yeezys? They not cheap. Oh, you just gonna buy you some more, huh? See, that's that generation right there. Because I remember Generation X, baby boomers went out when Jordans first came out, and it was only costing $100. Our Jordans had to be old for we played basketball in them, and that was a damn basketball shoe. Hell, I forget who it was. I want to say Nike or Converse came out with some basketball black top sneakers, basketball sneakers, specifically designed for black top. And do you not know, before we wore them on the black top, we had to walk around in them first on the black top. You young folks today so damn disrespectful to your stuff. Theo, you wouldn't have raced them in some Yeezys? Hell no. If Kanye ain't got some damn track shoes, or at the very least some running shoes, no, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. Yeah, so that was I Show Speed. That you got to show some speed, didn't you? You got to show some speed. Keeping the party rolling. Keeping the party rolling right there and everything like that. Once again, I want to thank y'all so much for pulling up to the Sunday sit down with Theo B and the Rock Wit Me Nation. I like what Mr. Smith said. We're going to keep it right there. Yes, Mr. Smith, Dwight Howard was inducted into the NBA Hall of Fame. Safe space. This is a safe space. You can say whatever you want to. I promise you I won't push back one way or the other. You say he belongs in the Hall of Fame, all right. You say what the hell, I'm going to say all right. Because I got to look at who I'm comparing him to. Mind you, I've been watching basketball for a minute now. I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Because where we got him at? Do we say, it might be me. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. I'm just saying, like, I don't necessarily know just because you can turn around and dunk if that's. Say Theo, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I got names. I'm looking at a dude that nobody can stop in the paint. Turn around and give it to you. This dude had two guards coming to him. You a center and you got two guards coming to you to learn your low post moves, man. And his low post moves ain't easy. They're not, because everybody don't want to do them. There is a dude playing for the LA Lakers right now that he just learned some low post moves. Had he went to go see the dude, this dude would be, I mean, he already is that and everything like that, but nobody would want to see this dude in the low post. No, nobody. Matter of fact, the Lakers got about like 3 right now. Austin Rivers could get it. He could. The dude that I was talking about, he could. And just in case you wonder who I was talking about, no, I wasn't talking about the dude that came over from the trade from Dallas. No, all three of them in the low post. Not at the same time. I'm saying they have that type of athleticism. Well, you do, man. Well, I'm just saying Dwight Howard ain't never do that. I know he has an NBA championship on his resume. I know. I also know where that. I also know who was on that team. I do. And I know he was rotating. He wasn't starting on that squad. He wasn't. So you say he belonged there, he belonged there. Because I know when he was in Orlando, you know, if you threw it down there, you wasn't gonna get it back. No, let me start lying. Orlando used to run that thing where he had them folks out there shooting them threes. But if he couldn't turn around and dunk it on you, you ain't have to worry about no footwork. If he could just turn around and bam on you, you ain't have to worry about Dwight putting you in no blender like that. That ain't what that was. But hey, I don't. Who am I? Whose crotch did he grab to get in? I don't know. I don't know, Mr. Smith. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Rico Suave. They don't know. Oh man, I do not know. And we're not gonna talk about it that long either, because I don't see anybody telling me one way or the other. So we not gonna stay on that long. No, we gonna move right along. That's 2 topics down. We got a few more to get through and everything like that. Let's go ahead and get into some toy news. So just recently, Hasbro Marvel Legends just revealed a brand new Super Skrull. You can Google it while we're on the phone right now. Hasbro Marvel Legends Super Skrull. I don't see. I don't be wanting to do parts like this, you know, because I'd be like, you know, hey, you be wanting to recommend some stuff to folks and everything like that. I'm an action figure collector. I am, and I really have to give it up to my Lord and Savior. That like Theo, no, because like every action figure I got, he blessed me with it, so I ain't gonna act like that. But he also blessed me with some discernment. Like, he also blessed me with the ability to discern what I was looking at. So Hasbro Marvel Legends just dropped a brand new Super Skrull. They did. In which case I'm looking for the ones that I have right now. Now, what I would tell you is that if you do not have a Super Skrull and you cannot go on eBay or Amazon and find a Super Skrull for the low, go ahead, do your thizzle. Do your thizzle. If you already have a Super Skrull and you just spend your money and get you some more Skrulls. Like, if you already got a Super Skrull, the one that was the Builder figure that came with the Mr. Fantastic arm, the thing, go stay right there. Stay right there. Stay. You ain't got to overcook the grits. Go get you some more Skrulls, or go get the Skrull 2-pack with the Queen Skrull and everything like that. Do that. How many Super Skrulls do we need? You know what, Mr. Smith? That's a great question. For those that did not get the Builder figure, and I understand the Builder figure might be going for a little bit of change, I absolutely do. If you cannot get the Builder figure, you need your Super Skrull. You need your Super Skrull. My problem with this particular version of the Super Skrull is the what's the word that I want to say? It is the I can't even say the quality, but it is the effort in doing an appropriate Super Skrull. This Super Skrull, just to let y'all know, it comes with the thing arm and the Mr. Fantastic arm, stretching arm and everything like that. That's cool. From the waist down, and I mean from the waist down, not blended, not faded, just it looked like a completely separate action figure. From the waist down, you have the Human Torch body. That's too many times now, especially, and I'll go ahead and broach this other topic into the conversation. Hasbro is raising the price of their action figures, and I get it. Inflation. Nobody would be saying anything about the rising cost of inflation if wages were raising at the same time. The problem is in the world, while we shouldn't, there's no reason for it. What we do, especially in this country, and we say we want to be the leading country in the world, we allow costs to outgrow wages. Well, we have a president in office who did the thing with the tariffs, and I'm of the mindset quite a few action figure collectors voted for him. Hell, I'm of the mindset quite a few people that work at Hasbro voted for him. I didn't say a lot. I said quite a few. Well, we know Hasbro has had to do layoffs, massive layoffs in the past 2-3 years. Well, they're doing price hikes. Well, Mr. Smith has asked the question, how many Super Skrulls do we need? I like that question. I would take that question and raise that question with this one. How long are we going to be in the action figure market? The standard Marvel Legend right now has went from $25.99, if I'm not mistaken, to, I'm sorry, $24.99 to $28.99. Y'all want me to say that one more time? Standard Marvel Legend. You know how we feel about the accessories that they don't necessarily put in there. The standard Marvel Legend is going to start going for $28.99. The question is, will you still be collecting? Now, Daryl and I did a show. We're of the mindset, if you want something, you will go ahead and find a way to get it. But if you don't want something, it's going to sit right there. Well, we keep it real on this channel. We collect action figures. We're action figure curator, if you will. We get the action figures that we like. Well, you know, you see between me and Daryl, we don't necessarily collect Marvel Legends like that. No, we don't. We don't necessarily collect G.I. Joe Classified like that. No, we don't. We get what we like. And by and large, on our respective channels, we do a job of recommending not only what we like, but the action figures that we think our target audience would like. And we know by and large, our target audience is interested in action figures that look like them. That look like them. So going back to the first part of this conversation, if you already have a Super Skrull, either A, save your money, or B, go invest in you some other Skrulls. If you do not have a Super Skrull and you're not able to find the previous big Build-A-Figure Super Skrull online, either Amazon or Hasbro, it is what it is. It is what it is. But just to let everybody know, prices are finna be prices. I don't necessarily see where that's bothering me or the people that I rock with, because we don't buy action figures like that. we don't feel like every time they drop a wave, we got to pick it up. No, we don't. we are very, very selective about what we got going on. Let me keep up with these notes because I don't want to be rude. Let me see what we got going on here. I can't see it. Hall of Pretty Good, maybe. Mr. Ray Smith says he belongs in the Hall of Pretty Good. I just looked at the new Super Skrull and I am not impressed. You are not alone, as Michael Jackson would say. Facts, Theo. I want a figure that looks like me. That's it. That's it where we're at with it. And, you know, we're not telling everybody to feel that way. You buy what you want to buy. It's up to you. But as I've said before, when I say I got Marvel at the house, I'm just that, man. Damn. and Marvel gonna make sure, Hasbro gonna make sure I got a plethora of action figures that don't look like me. That's fine. Not knocking it. I just want me some me. That's all. And I don't see nothing wrong, especially when I know I didn't bought everybody else damn action figure. Like, I don't think you can be wrong if I want me some me. Well, based on what Hasbro has been releasing lately, I don't see me spending change like that. So the cost won't necessarily be affecting me. The cost increase won't necessarily be affecting me. And I believe those that buy like I do, because we don't buy every damn thing. we don't. So just to let y'all know that is out there. Not sure when it's going to be up pre-order. I would not know if you care one way or the other. But let me know what your thoughts are. Moving right along. See, we got a nice little pace here. Where we at? Almost 30 minutes. Let's stay right here. Almost 30 minutes. 30 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes. A little bit of a commercial break. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling all right. I'm feeling Theo, why? We opened up our show talking about sports and everything like that. And the Steelers won today. The Steelers, can we talk about it? The Pittsburgh Steelers won today. Like 34-32. Can we talk about it? Because it seems so much, heard so much. You know, we lay back in the cut and everything like that. We be ESPN and Fox Sports and various YouTubers and everything like that. You know, you got some that are pro Pittsburgh. You got some that are anti-Pittsburgh. And, you know, you done heard a lot coming out of Pittsburgh camp. They had a team versus team drill against the Buccaneers. Offense didn't look good. You got folks talking about, Aaron still got it in his arm and everything. He 40-something years old. Yeah. TJ Watt, he had the contract dispute. Then you got Cam Hayward. He holding out, and, you know, just get stuff locked up. Oh, man, he ain't know. He ain't know. And it ain't going to act like that. You got Justin Fields. All he and Aaron did was just switch teams. You know, did he learn anything from his time in Pittsburgh? Were this going to be the same old Jets? 34-32. 34-32. Let me do this real quick. Because y'all going to catch it tonight if y'all catch the game and everything like that. Aaron Rodgers' passer rating was 136.7. $244 yards, 4 touchdowns, 22 of 30. But he only missed 8 passes. That's impressive. That out. Ooh. I don't know whether that was the Jets defense or the Steelers offense, but I know Pittsburgh offense ain't looked like that in a minute. They ain't look like that in a minute. 244. The dude was throwing off his back foot, slinging it. Oh. Do we remember what Peyton Manning looked like his last year in Denver? Do we remember what the ball was doing and everything like that? This dude, I said, okay. No, I'm not saying Pittsburgh is going to the Super Bowl. I'm not saying that. I just say I feel good. I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling good. And if you're a Jet fan, you got to feel good about your quarterback situation. You got your young Thundercat back though. You do. Justin Fields went 16-22, right? That's only missing 6 passes, 218 yards. He threw for what? 1 touchdown, no interceptions, 119.1 passer rate. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. That's not bad. But you know, if both quarterbacks went off, that means both defenses played like trash. Woo! Let me take a look at what we got going on here. If you are still a fan and why we should be bothered. 182 yards on the ground is what Pittsburgh gave up. 182 on the ground. And Pittsburgh only had 53. So, you know, when you think about Aaron Rodgers, them 4 touchdowns, let's give it up for the fact that he had no running game to support him. None. Sheesh. My goodness. My goodness. My goodness. That was a game. Let me keep up with the notes though. Let me keep up with the notes though. I don't want to act like that. I don't want to act like that. I want to talk about this college football. I want to shift gears. Mr. Smith said he about to throw up. Why you about to throw up? Why you about to throw up? Yeah, he looked nice, Mr. Smith. I wasn't looking for that. I was looking for some other stuff. Let's take a look here though. College football. What I'm about to say here, some folks are probably going to consider reprehensible, heinous, if you will. Now, let me preface this by saying there was a time, and I ain't the only one. If you 50, 60 years old, you remember this. There was a time when we could look at your preseason rankings. We could, and that was based on, to a degree, how you finished the previous year, players you had coming in and everything like that. But there was something to be said for what transpired on the field. We weren't going to act like what we saw ain't what we saw. And I just want to, I want to take a look. Because I don't know if, because folks might be like, no, Theo, no. I know they wasn't ranked. I know they wasn't ranked last year. I know that. I know they only had 2 wins the year before. I do. But I do know ESPN and the college football playoffs wrongfully held them out of the college football playoff. Because I was saying it once, I will say it again, and I'll tell it to anybody's face. They based everything off of how TCU got beat by Georgia. Nobody, which is when I realized these analysts are entertainers too. Yeah. None of them mentioned the fact who TCU beat to go play Georgia, Michigan. That means TCU made it to the college football playoffs. Folks was like, no, they don't belong. They don't belong. They don't belong. They beat Michigan, and then they got their heads kicked in by Georgia. The point of the matter is they got in and beat somebody once they were in. They lied. The media spin a narrative. And I looked at analysts whom I had respect for up until that point do a complete 180 and never mention TCU beating Michigan. They wrongfully held Florida State out of the college football playoffs year before last. We can call it a hangover, whatever. Team last year, 2-11. 2-11. That's nothing to be proud about at all. No, at the end, I believe you come to play. But now this team, and I know somebody who is not a fan of the head coach, has to be mad at this particular point in time. He been wanting this dude go. Used to call him cornrows because the dude actually. Okay, so the Florida State head coach actually does have a picture out there where he had cornrows. Yes, that's what that is. Anyway, they beat a very impressive Alabama team 31-17, and that score is not indicative of that game. They beat Alabama where we're not used to seeing Alabama get beat, at the line of scrimmage. On both sides of the ball, they owned Alabama. You had a quarterback come in, talk that talk, and walk that walk. They beat the dog stew out of Alabama. I get it. They weren't ranked before the season came in. I get it. But that's an impressive win. That had to be the most impressive win of week one. An unranked team thrashing a team that was previously in the top 10. Then they came back yesterday. And you would sit back and say, okay, but Theo, they're not playing anybody. You're right. When you're not playing somebody, I expect you to treat them just like you're playing nobody. 77-3. Mike Norvell is the head coach of Florida State. 77-3. 77-3. They're like, Theo, that they weren't playing anybody. I get it. Texas A&M Commerce, 77. If you're not playing anybody, that's a lie. If your opponent ain't good enough, then you got to be playing against your own set of expectations. What do we think Florida State's expectations were when they came into that game? If the team they're playing ain't ish, then the score, the results should be indicative of it. Let's take a look. Let's take a look here. Let's take a look at these stats from that game yesterday. Castellanos. 8 of 11, 237 yards, 3 TDs, no touchdowns, no sacks. Singleton, that's the running back, 82 yards, averaging 20 yards a clip, 1 touchdown. Parks, 61 yards, 1 touchdown. Let me get down to the stats so you'll understand what we're looking at. Time of possession, 31 minutes and 59 seconds. They put up 77 points. Total yards, 729. They're not playing anybody. That's what you're supposed to do. Passing yards, 368. That's almost 400. You're not playing anybody. Ain't nobody on the field. That's what you're supposed to do. Rushing yards, 361. You ain't playing against anybody. That's exactly what's supposed to happen. You know how many passing yards Texas had? A&M Christian? 92. There's a certain type of discipline your defense has to play with for all 4 quarters, regardless of who they're going up against, for them to only give up, less than 100 yards passing. How many yards rushing? 105. That means Florida State, from the first man off the bench to the first starter, never took their foot off the gas pedal. There was a certain amount of discipline in play that was there throughout all 4 quarters. A certain amount of discipline. We can't say we saw it all last year. If you asking me, the number 1 ranked team in the country right now, it might be too much pressure, but it's the Florida State Seminoles. And I'm saying that as a Georgia Bulldog fan. Oh no, it's them. It's them. I watched everybody else play. I did. No. 2 weeks in a row, nobody has looked as dominant as the team in Tallahassee. And it's not even close. It's not even close. I'm gonna keep up with these notes. Let me see here. Thank y'all so much for pulling up. But that's my argument for why Florida State is the number 1 team in the country. We got Jermaine Knowles in the building. What's going on, Big Jermaine? What is going on? Let's shift from sports to entertainment news. Shout out to Great for this. Say, Theo. Oh, I say, I say shout out to Gray for this. Gray sent me this. That's the man on the street, super producer himself. Sent me this information this morning via Twitter. Are we ever going to call Twitter X? I'm going to say, are we ever going to call X X? Oh, it's still going to be Twitter. I ain't asking. I'm just asking. Gray sent this to me this morning. Forbes.com, Disney lost $619 million in takings on each Marvel movie over the past 2 years. Say that one more time. This comes to us by Forbes, by way of Gray, the super producer, the man on the street. Disney lost 609 Forbes. No. This ain't Vibe. This ain't Vibe magazine. No. This ain't Essence magazine. No. Because I don't want nobody. This ain't Jet. This ain't Ebony. No. This come from Forbes. This come from Forbes. Disney lost $619 million in takings on each Marvel movie over the past 2 years. You know how folks keep saying them been some good movies? I think it's some folks around here lying. I think it's some folks around here lying. You either lying or I don't know. I don't necessarily know if I need to listen to certain folks tell me what a good movie is. Cause the money. Here we go. Hold on. I'll be right back. Hold on. My fault. Had to put a pet up. We have brand new kittens running around the house. Yes, so we have to put that up. So anyway, this comes to us by way of. We'll make sure I give folks the credit now. I want to make sure I give folks that. Caroline Reed covers the entertainment industry. Yep. It's no secret that Disney's Marvel Studios division doesn't have the same punching power at the box office that it used to. It's the eye test. It's the eye test. We all. I don't know who don't see it. Like I don't, because you know if you would go see a movie again. You do. You know if a movie was all right. You know what I'm saying? You know if a movie was all right. Like you know that. You know that. You know which movies are okay. And you know, like, oh man, I can't wait till that come out in Blu-ray and DVD. I got to buy that. You know movies you didn't went to go see, like, like I didn't look at Superman versus Batman and go, oh, I got to get that when that come out on Blu-ray and DVD. I wasn't even pressed to see that when it came out free. You know, even though we paid for the service. No, have you ever sat up there and said, oh, I got to watch that again? You knew when you first saw it. You don't sit up there and be like, it come on TNT. Oh man, remember? Oh yeah, let's catch. No, what the Eternals? Some thought it was okay. If you watch the Eternals the first time around, it's sitting right over there on Dick. You're not watching that. So I think folks know. Well, anyway, follow the money. Over the 5 years up to 2020, Seven of its superhero movies grossed more than $1 billion, giving the franchise some of the highest average takers in the industry. However, over the 5 years since 2020, only Deadpool and Wolverine and Spider-Man No Way Home have joined the billion-dollar club, forcing Marvel to put a new spin on things. Nearly 20 years ago, Marvel's movies became smash hits with adults thanks to their serious treatment. Y'all want me to read that again? Because therein lies the problem. That was nearly 20 years ago. Nearly 20 years ago, Marvel's movies became smash hits with adults thanks to their serious treatment of the beloved superhero stories that they grew up with. Y'all want me to read that whole paragraph again? Because I don't know if Miss Reed realized how poignant what she said in this paragraph really, really is. She said something, but I don't know if she really know what she said. I'm gonna read it again. Nearly 20 years ago, Marvel's movies became smash hits with adults thanks to their serious treatment of the beloved superhero stories that they grew up with. No lies detected. Traditional tropes like secret identities and gaudy costumes were dropped from the characters, and A-list, which made sense. You know how we talk about modern adaptations? How we say stuff ain't got to be one-to-one? This would be one of the things that we said. That's fine. Traditional tropes like secret identities and gaudy costumes were dropped from the characters, and A-list actors like Scarlett Johansson and Samuel L. Jackson signed on to play them. Just like in the real world, the events in one movie affect the next, as all of the storylines were interconnected in the so-called Marvel Cinematic Universe. The movies are even split into phases, with each phase focusing on different threats. Stay right here. Stay right here. Because I'm going to go ahead and introduce this other topic. How is James Gunn successfully doing what many say is a detriment to the MCU? You know that whole interconnected thing? Are we not watching Peacemaker right now? Okay. Oh, are we? Lease? Is that possible? Lease, is that possible? Lease, is that possible? Okay. Anybody watching Peacemaker season 2? What about the first season of Peacemaker? Did anybody watch the most recent episode of Peacemaker? Is James Gunn referencing stuff that happened before season 2, either in the first season or in some different stuff? I'm just asking the question, because supposedly we can't do this over here in the MCU. That's we folks ain't got. Well, you got to do that. Oh, James Gunn literally got it where he referenced the first Suicide Squad movie in this last episode of Peacemaker. So if you ain't watched that movie, guess what you got to go do? Well, why would we do it over here if it's not gonna work over there? Or because that don't it. Because we literally been complaining, not we, but ain't that what they've been saying? That's why folks not checking for what they got going on, because they got stuff interconnected. That's what they say. Well, James Gunn did this up. Ain't he got Creature Commandos, the cartoon, tied into both Peacemaker season 1 and season 2, both Suicide Squad movies, and James Gunn Superman? Ain't all that interconnected? No, all right. So it's just me? I don't think it's just me. No, I don't think it's just me. I don't think it's just me. I could be wrong. I don't think that's just me. I don't know how one person is saying. Glazers kept saying, if you don't like it, then don't watch. And people have. And this is the result of that. Exactly. Now I tell them, you don't like it, don't watch it. Trust me. I ain't got money to throw away like that. So you absolutely right. I won't watch it. Well, ain't nobody been watching it. Ain't nobody been watching it. But I just want to make sure we're keeping up with what's being said in this article versus what we heard in regards to the failings of the MCU. There's some contradictory stuff going on here. Yeah, but let's go ahead and continue with our story. The decline in audience interest wasn't directly due to the pandemic, though it contributed to it. Marvel's penultimate movie before theaters shuttered due to COVID was Avengers Endgame, which became the highest grossing movie in history with takings of $2.8 billion. The team and a whole bunch of folks in that movie to get $2.8 billion. The team-up movie tied up threads that had been left hanging in the previous 21 films, so it made a natural conclusion to the series. It did. That, you know what Avengers Endgame was? To any comic book fan, that was the giant size annual that came after the first 12 issues. Yeah. Infinity War would have been issue number 12. Endgame, to a comic book fan, would have been the giant size annual that wrapped up all the loose threads from issue 1 to issue 12. Yeah. But as a comic book fan, writer, you already got stories in place starting right after that. You see how Jed McKay came right in with his first issue of Avengers. When you're a comic book fan, that's how it go down. You already got a story in place that you're gonna tell. You do, but you see how over there in the creature, what is it? Creature Commandos and everything like that. When they brought what the young lady named the bride back and everything like that, and they showed her to her new team. Did you see King Shark there? I saw King Shark. Yeah. I saw King Shark. So James Gunn know how to reference heroes and other heroes material. Over here, I said King Shark for a reason. King Shark is in prison. Who is in prison in the MCU? No. Jay, Kevin Feige said nobody knew who the characters were in the Thunderbolts. Yes, we did. We knew exactly who the characters were in the Thunderbolts. Those weren't the Thunderbolts. Guy Gardner is an actual Green Lantern. Now, we don't know who the Justice Gang is, and we don't know nothing about that, but he ain't trying to act like that. No, this is my stuff. This is the Justice Gang. I got Guy Gardner. I got Ashayera Hall. I could be wrong. Kendra. I got Kendra, and I got Michael Holt. I got Clark Kent. And I got the Hall of Justice. I got a whole bunch of Easter eggs on the Hall of Justice. At some point in time, folks gonna really understand what's going on. James Gunn is a superhero fan. Whether you like him, whether you don't like him, James Gunn is when I say a fan, he reads superhero comic books. He understands the storytelling process when it comes to that. He understands the interconnections of storytelling when it comes to superheroes because he's been doing it. Did you not see the dude pay off writers, editors, and artists by putting their names? And Lord Jesus have mercy. He put their names in the movie. He know the source material. He ain't trying to replace it. He's doing his version of it, but he ain't trying to replace it. And he's telling his story. We're literally Superman was a live action comic book. That's what that was. And that's why so many people got in their feeling. It was a live action comic book. What is Peacemaker? A live action comic book, red band edition. Live action comic book, red band edition. What was Creature Commandos? An animated comic book, red band edition. The only story we've got thus far that ain't the red band with James Gunn, which is crazy because these heroes are literally for Gen X and baby boomers. And we're not kids. No, we grown. Well, James Gunn is making, by and large, his version for comic book fans. You're a general audience member. You're gonna get in if you got agendas to push, i.e. that whole woke DEI stuff. You finna be in your feelings. He don't give two damns about that. He finna respect the source material. Not respecting the source material will have you losing 615 million. I don't know how you do that. Ain't nobody lost their job yet. 609. Maybe that ain't that much money. 619 million. I'm gonna keep up with these numbers. Ain't no way. ain't no way. 619 million. Ain't no way. And James Gunn is literally doing everything Kevin Feige said he can't do. He's literally doing everything for the reasons that Kevin Feige said he won't do stuff. That's crazy. That's crazy. Should have been Shayera, but they chose Kendra for some reason. Yeah. I think they chose Kendra, and it's a different character, so it's not a race swap. I think they chose Kendra for a couple reasons, and folks get uncomfortable. We say we don't like race swaps. We don't. Well, Shayera should never be a Hulk. Yeah, I get it. I know what Earth 2 was, but I'm gonna say what Earth 1 was. We tried to make them from Thanagar and everything like that. No, because that ain't what we started when we first introduced them characters. No, them characters were Egyptian characters. That's a whole Hawk God and all that other stuff. So it shouldn't have never been nobody named Shayera. Shouldn't have been nobody named Shayera. Shouldn't have been nobody named Carter. That'd be that stuff that I'd be talking about. There are race swaps that took place way before some of these characters hit the page. Folks talking about race swaps once they hit the big screen. Let me talk about the race swap that shouldn't have never transpired in the first damn place. But ain't nobody ready for that conversation because that means Mark Spector wouldn't be Jewish. Well, let me put it like this. He could be Jewish, but he wouldn't have no ties to Khonshu. And ain't nobody ready for that conversation. They not. So but that's just my take on why they made it Kendra, because that character as Hawkman should be a character of color. Folks don't want to say that because they get in their feelings. No, you don't get to sit down and spread your seed all over the place. Wilson Fisk. Wait, now you gotta tell me what you mean with that one. Wilson Fisk. Wilson, you know what? Wilson Fisk was race swap. Now to this day, I don't understand this one. Great point. I never hear anybody say anything about Michael Clark Duncan playing Wilson Fisk. Never. And I'm sitting up here like, because he played it. Like, if you're a comic book fan, Michael Clark Duncan gave you the essence of Wilson Fisk. You could, no different than what Vincent D'Onofrio is doing right now. But it's crazy. Nobody, when folks talk about race swaps, they shouldn't do this and should. That sits right there, and nobody ever says a word. They don't say DEI. They don't say woke. They don't mention Michael Clark Duncan's name. They don't mention that movie, and that movie sit right there. You know what, bro? You're right. I never understood it come sitting up like this. Well, I thought that's a race swap. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask for it. But in the spirit of the character, I can't say he got the character wrong. He got the character right. Now, I don't, maybe it's because he got the character right, but you know, Theo, go ahead and say it. No, I'm going to say it. I never hear cats like Critical Thinker say anything. Nerdrotic, Valiant Renegade, how they be saying folks don't, because if folks didn't like that Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck and Jennifer Garner, it wasn't Michael Clark Duncan's fault. Oh no. It had nothing to do with him. If that movie didn't perform well, it ain't had not a damn thing to do with DEI or woke. Because Michael Clark Duncan did not deviate from what Wilson Fisk was essentially, and that's why that race swap worked. Bruh, how do you feel about the reincarnation thing of Hawk Man, Hawk Girl, and Hawk Woman? Reincarnation takes place in all religions. Thus, when they get reincarnated, they should be reincarnated as people from Africa. Because where does Egypt sit at? Africa. I'm not gonna mess with folks like that, because before folks started dividing themselves on race, folks were dividing themselves on religion. Still do it. It's just not to the level of which it was, because there were religious crusades back then. Well, understanding the sensitivity with religion, you don't get to claim everybody else's stuff. And that's what it boils down to. You do not get to claim. Mark Spector is Jewish. Ben Grimm is Jewish. And I respect those characters being written like that. Kitty Pryde is Jewish. Thus, when I'm looking for these characters to have spiritual interactions, I'm looking for them to have, and rightfully so, Jewish spiritual interactions. We shouldn't be messing with that. But I know why it's done, though. And that's another conversation folks aren't ready to have. Because if I say colonization, that's going to turn folks off. But no, that's really what that is. You're appropriating somebody else's religion and you're making it yours to suit a need. Stop. We ain't got to do that. Write the characters from your religion. Let other folks write characters from their religion. If you write a character from a specific religion, a specific spirituality, write them from that. Don't just sit up here and throw folks all over the place, because I sit up here. I remember reading the Justice League, JLA, when they came out with their new Pantheon. I sat up there and I saw Azrael. Azrael. And as I sit up here, the bull host, the eagle host, the lion host, and the man host, anybody else that read them comics didn't see not one black angel. Not one. Not one. And shout out to Heavy Spoilers. If you did watch Peacemaker 2, some of the people have actually mentioned it. In the alternate dimension where Chris went to, there were no black people. Now, I don't know if that was accidental or done on purpose, but we do know in this day and age, and don't get mad at James Gunn, don't call it woke. There are some folks right now, and you're in this atmosphere, you're in this stratosphere, and that's exactly what you want, low key. But let's stay right here. It's football season. It's football season. How you feel about your team having somebody on it that you don't want? It's football season. You want folks to get up and leave. Go back where they come from. That's fine. It's football season. It's football season. When you feeling that way about a person of color, when you went to see your favorite college football team play yesterday, were you rooting for the whole team or just a portion of the team? Were you happy that your team won, depending on who scored that dadgum touchdown? Because this is a lot of confusing, conflicting feelings out there. You shouldn't want, if you feeling that way, you shouldn't want your favorite team integrated with anybody. You should be outside picking. Damn sure shouldn't be bragging if your team won. Oh, no. No. My brother Darryl then pulled up. Hawkman was race corrected, and yeah, he was. Shout out to Kamoyo King. Yeah, shout out to Aldous Hard. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. And you know what? I was so thankful. I sat there and did just like that. Like, okay. Now I don't know what was going on with Whirlwind Tornado. My uncle. I never saw my uncle with a brother. And I don't know who my uncle's children are. So I don't know how we got there. I don't. I'm saying this to comic book fans. Say, well, Theo, how you feel about what's the name? Cyclone. How you feel about Cyclone being race swapped? Hey, she white in the comics. She's a ginger. She is. I don't know how. I don't know why. I didn't ask for that. Honestly, truth be told, if you're asking me, I don't even know why she was in the damn movie. Why in the hell are we combining a character that Jeff Johns created with legacy, with established characters? I got Kent Nelson, okay? While I do not feel like he should be Dr. Fate, he is. All right, cool. I got Carter Hall. Thank you. Got Carter Hall. Makes sense. Really? I got to get Al Pratt. I can't get his father. I can't get the Adam. I got to get him. There's a whole bunch of superheroes from the Justice Society that come along before I get to Al Pratt and get the Cyclone. I couldn't get none of them. If you're a real comic book fan, you got to appreciate what we got going over here with the Rock Wit Me Nation, because we keep that thing above. Let me keep up with these notes. Jermaine said, "Now I think about a lot of characters in comics would have to be revamped with powers with bait." Yeah. And here's the thing: most of them characters, they white. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to make it like that, but most of the characters that got Ted Cord. I don't know. I mean, I like it. The Scarab make more sense with Jaime Reyes than it made with Dan or Ted. Oh, so you found it in Egypt. Why in the hell y'all always finding stuff in Egypt? But it worked for you. I've asked people this question and everybody get it. If you ever went up into another deity's sanctuary and tried to rob it, because that's what it is. It's robbing. But we found some stuff. You steal it. you steal it. Just because the folks are no longer alive to say, don't take our stuff, don't mean you not stealing. You steal it. Well, you go up in that deity and you don't believe in that deity, you're not praying to that deity, you're not telling that deity you love him. Man, okay. The last thing that deity is going to do to you is bestow upon you its abilities. You're a non-believer. Why would you want it? Like you're not praying to your God? That's crazy. That's crazy. What say? Comics was way too. I mean, they know it. Funny thing is, white Americans didn't even consider certain Europeans as white, but want to claim them and their culture, creating characters based off that. Yeah. What did I say? At one point in time, It wasn't about race. It was about religion. It was about the continent you were in. Hell, the tribe you belonged to. It ain't had nothing. It wasn't till them two dudes came along. Said, we're going to make it about race. We're too separated in here. We got to get everybody to link up. They did it. They did it. But keeping the party rolling, though, because really what I wanted to take away from that, wanted our takeaway to be from that, James Gunn, with Marvel having lost $615 million over the past 2 years, and we've always reiterated, it's storytelling. You have somebody who's not a comic book fan, admit it, hiring people that don't know the source material. That's admitted. It's documented. You're supposed to lose money. Your business model is not a model for success. But when you look at the other guy, well, you can't say it's superhero fatigue because people are tired of keeping up with movies. When you look at what James Gunn is doing, based on what he's doing, you literally right now have to go back and watch the first Suicide Squad movie. Based on what he did, you would literally have to go back and watch that first Suicide Squad movie. Well, damn it, what else are you watching after that? He got Easter eggs all over the place. And I'm telling you, I watched Peacemaker's episode, the most recent episode, I think it's episode 4, but it was the most recent episode, just came out this past Thursday. And for you to know what's going on in Peacemaker, you got to go watch stuff that can. If that ain't the right way to do it, why would he be doing it? If that's not the right way to do it, how is he being successful doing it? How? Because the man understands the art of telling a comic book story, and he's surrounding himself with people who understand the art of telling a comic book story. And he's not being an ass. He's actually paying homage to people, whether they're writers, whether they're editors, whether they're artists. He's actually paying homage to those who know how to tell a comic book story. That is the recipe for success. This over here will get you losing $619 million over 2 years, regardless of what anybody has to say. The numbers don't lie. They might not tell the whole story, but they damn sure ain't gonna lie. And contrary to what anybody want to say, the MCU has been just What say Moon Knight makes 0 sense on the face of it. Listen, you know who make sense? Not Moon Knight, the other character. Half Moon or something like that. That character makes sense because that character is actually Egyptian. That character make all the sense in the world. Mr. Moloch, what's going on? Big William Moloch is pulled up in the building. She was there for the young female demographic. Eureka should have been the god Mark was dealing with. He is their moon god before monotheism. There you go. There you go. There you go. But like I said, I could look and say that, you know, because when we look at characters and folks don't necessarily think about this, I don't profess to know, and I'm not gonna act like I know. I will say there are some folks who, even in this day and age, act like there's a difference between being Jewish and being white. Well, when you look at the creators of Marvel Comics, Jack Kirby, Stan Lee, and you look at the cats that created Superman and everything like that, which superhero you got being created as Jewish? Or are they all, regardless of who's creating them? Think about what I just said. Because those two, Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, Jewish. Professor Xavier isn't written as a Jewish man. Eric Lenshier is. Scott Summers isn't. Jean Grey isn't. Warren Moon isn't. You have quite a few folks that create characters, and they don't create the characters based on them. They'll create the character and make the character white. and we get brainwashed to a degree. Yes, I'm gonna throw out some names. I don't care who it bothers and everything. Like, no, I'm not gonna do that. You have black writers that don't even want to write black characters. Well, if the black writer don't, because the black writer would be the one in tune with the black character. Well, if the black writer don't want to write the black character, who, I get it. There are going to be those that aren't black that want to write black characters. And there are those that do some magnificent jobs writing black characters. But even with those people, you never hear them say they don't want to write the character that looks like them. We say that. We say that. We say it loudly and proudly in public. And then if we F around and get assigned to the black character, we take a huge dump on that black character just to show the editor we didn't want to write him. Confusing times. Confusing times. Keeping up with these with the show though. Where are we at though? Minute 15. I ain't saying I want to be here this long. Where are we at? Oh, we got up out of here. We didn't went over Hasbro Marvel Legends. Went over the rising cost of action figures, whether or not you in or out. The MCU lost how much money? 619. Florida loses to South Florida. Oh, we didn't talk about that, but lie. Yeah, I don't know. I have to watch what I say about the Florida Gators because I am a Georgia Bulldog fan, and I don't want Florida Gator fans thinking that I take any delight in them losing. I understand that for college football to be what college football should be, Florida State, Miami, and Florida need to be making it do what it do. That said, I am a Georgia Bulldog fan. If you rocking with me like I'm rocking with you, like I'm rocking with you, like you rock with me. If you was at the barbershop, shout out Champions Barbershop yesterday. I ain't necessarily feel good about Florida beating South Florida. South Florida been known to play teams tough. Just last year they played Alabama tough. Folks was looking. Well, they took down Boise State week 1. I watched the game yesterday. I don't know how that happened. What I saw was one team not care where they were playing at. They didn't care where they were playing at. They didn't care what uniform was on the other side of the field. All they was concerned, they the big dogs in the house. This season don't get no easier for Billy Napier. You still got to play Florida State. Still got to play Miami. Still got to play Georgia. The buyout is $20 million. What my brother say? I got action figures galore, man. Yeah, he do. Hey, see, that's my brother saying he ain't got. Now he do. He do. You need to know. He got action figures galore. Mr. Smith got action figures galore. Oh, and they got action figures they need to customize. So y'all need to know they ain't got to spend no change. Hasbro, I don't know what y'all got going on. Y'all still ain't said nothing about cardiac yet. Do something about that. Do something about that. Let's see here. Ryan Clark. We about to get on up out of here. Ryan Clark, Cam Newton, Channing Crowder, Ray Lewis. Great football players. Some of them going to the Hall of Fame. Is what that is. I don't know what the goal is when they do their podcast. Shout out to Ryan Clark, the Pivot, him, Fred Taylor, Channing Crowder. They're making it do what it's going to do. And I get it. You have podcasts, you have your shows and everything like that. You got to feel confident about what you're talking about. You got to be you got to be opinionated. But you know, as my grandparents used to say, my grandmother, everything ain't meant to be said. Everything ain't meant to be said. And when we get to this stage where we call ourselves grown men, there's a way that we're supposed to be conducting ourselves, whether we are in the entertainment industry or not, whether or not we're getting ready to speak on somebody or not, especially somebody that's you know, you just got to do better. Ryan Clark caught flack for saying, and he's not the only athlete that said it, just the most recent one. If you never played the game, because he was talking about a reporter, and crazy enough, he'll wind up apologizing to the reporter. When I say crazy enough, if he's a reporter, what makes you think he don't know the game? What makes you think any reporter don't know the game? And that's what quite a few of these athletes like to say. Well, how can you say something if you never played the game? I was talking to Kamoyo the other day. At what level had I have not had to play the game? Was it Pee Wee? Was it middle school? Was it high school? Was it college? Cam Newton asked question, who's played for a championship before? Well, what championship are we talking about? We talk about the Pee Wee championship. We talking about the high school championship. We talking about the college championship or the professional championship. Which championship matters? Which one doesn't matter? Are we talking about the team championship? Or we talking about the individual championship? Which championship are we talking about? Hell, I don't even go so far to say, are we talking about the starters on the championship team? Or are we talking to the non-starters on the championship team? Because who are the starters going up against in practice? As we say, man sharpens man as iron sharpens iron. Well, who do we think is sharpening up Patrick Mahomes in practice? Who do we think is sharpening up Travis Kelce in practice? Do I need to have played the game to understand what a cover two is? Ryan, do I need to have played the game to understand Dick LeBeau's blitz package, or do I just need to have watched video footage to understand Dick LeBeau's zone blitz? Do I need to have played alongside you and Troy Polamalu to know that you and Troy, you were reading off of one another? Do I need to have sat in the locker room? I need to been on the phone with you and Troy while y'all was talking, or do I just need to watch the video footage? Or is it that as a former athlete, you don't like being told you're wrong, you don't know what you're talking about by someone who has not achieved what you've achieved when it comes to playing? There's a difference. Playing the game. It don't mean I don't know the game, sir. It means I'm not physically able to do what you can do. And that's all that means. That's all that means. Those of us who did not make it to your level, we didn't make it to that level for one or two reasons. We either didn't possess the mental acumen, or we didn't possess the physical acumen. Now, if we didn't possess the physical acumen, does that mean we don't know the game? Ryan, would you ever tell a football official they don't know the damn game? That's Ryan Clark. Let's move on to the next person. Cam Newton. You owe Jalen Hurd an apology. Whatever you got going on with the other dude, that's you and him. But with all the flamboyancy, all the arrogance and everything like that, when you come to the TV, you come to you and you like to, you publicly owe Jalen Hurts an apology, or you're nothing more than an entertainer. You're no one to be taken seriously when it comes to talking about football, because you can't own when you're wrong. I'm starting to see that's a pattern. Folks that don't mind telling other folks they wrong have a problem being told they wrong. No, you wrong. You wrong. We watched the game. And those of us that watched that game, we know by and large, if Jalen Hurts don't do what he did, the Eagles lose. This wasn't on Saquon Barkley. This wasn't on the Eagles defense. It was on Jalen Hurts. And if you can't be a man and own what, because he did the same thing he did in the Super Bowl, he won it. If you can't admit you were wrong about him being a game changer, it says a lot about your integrity as a football analyst. I'm going to keep the party rolling. Channing Crowder on the pivot. Russell Wilson is lame. Define lame. And you can't. Because lame is how people view one another. You feel like Russell Wilson is lame. You ever stop to think that somebody else could say the same damn thing about you? Now, I know what you're going to say. You don't give a damn. Or I ain't lame. I'm cool as hell. Russell could say the same thing about him. You're too old to be talking about somebody because they're different than you. And that's exactly what it boils down. He don't wrestle alligators. I don't wrestle alligators either. He don't dip snuff. You do. Now, you know what I think is lame? Dipping snuff. I think dipping snuff is lame, especially when you know that can lead to oral cancer. And you've been knowing it. You still doing it. That's lame as hell. To do something that you know will affect your health and you still do it, it's lame. It's lame. Some folks feel like the locks that me and you have in our hair is lame. Do you care? Do they know what they're talking about? No, they don't. No differently than you don't know what you're talking about in regards to Russell Wilson. He's different. Ain't nothing wrong with being different. Him being different gets him what? In the NFL? Super Bowl winner? What some folks would consider a hot wife? What Kendrick Lamar used to say, loyalty, loyalty, loyalty. That's what he's getting from his wife. Been blessed with some beautiful children. Still in the National Football League. Might be his last season. Who knows? Everybody's set. He's set. Wife set. Oh, by the way, he bought his wife her music catalog. That's lame? Because I don't want to hear nothing about no damn hairstyle, because Russell Wilson ain't always had the same damn hairstyle. But why you give a damn? Because he don't talk like you? Why he got to talk like you? Because he don't walk like you? Why he got to walk like you to be cool? Because he don't dress like you? Why does he have to do anything like you not to be viewed as lame? That's a high school ass mentality. That's a childish ass mentality. And you steadily trying to justify it says, to a degree, a lot about how you still haven't matured. Now let me keep it going. Next man up, Ray Lewis. I know what this is. You're not going to like what I'm getting ready to say. You're a spokesperson for a gambling site. Yeah, your ads are starting to make the rounds. You're in the entertainment industry now. You need eyes on you. How you do that? Maybe y'all had it set up. Maybe you called him and said, hey, man, I'm finna drop your name. Who knows? Because I know how we think y'all get down ain't necessarily how y'all be getting down. Y'all have folks out here in the atmosphere mad at one another when y'all really cool with each other. But you're a man of God, though, so you should be above this. Shannon don't talk like that. He don't. He don't talk like that. He don't move like that. You do, though. You do. And so being a man of God with your brother out there going through something, did you call him? Did you go visit him? And as a man of God, did you keep that conversation to yourself? But that's what they do. You go see your brother as a man of God, whatever they say to you stays with you. Whatever feelings you have about him stay with you, him, and God. That's not what you did. No, you want to let folks know that you're better than Shannon. He's fallen from grace. And this is the same dude, if I'm not mistaken, who folks say gave an impassioned speech when you were going through your stuff. When you were going through your stuff, no differently than he's going through his stuff. It wasn't for you to publicly speak on just because somebody asked you. You're a man of God. You're not just a football player. You're not just a father. You're not just a Hall of Fame linebacker. You're not just one of the greatest linebackers who ever played the game, whether we talking college or whether we talking pro. No. You're a man of God, and that supersedes everything. You want to get famous. God can make you famous. Didn't he do it? So you don't need to talk about Shannon. You don't need to bring up what Shannon is going through to get your 15 minutes of fame. You don't. And if you feel like he's going through something, you feel like his spirit is troubled, as a man of God, that's not my business. Nor is it anyone else's. That's you, Shannon, and God's business. I expect better. It's the reason why Mr. Ray Smith is my elder. I expect better from those who say they're men of God. Yeah, you're going to fall short sometime. We all do. But that ain't it. Keep up with these notes, and we're going to get on up out of here. I think we've been here long enough. Where are we at? An hour and a half. I don't want to be rude. As my brother say, he got the action figures. Y'all make sure y'all link up with my brother over there who got the action figures and everything like that, because he keep it going. I think we didn't freed up some time on our schedule. We're going to be able to help my brother with that. And I can't even say help him with that, because he making it do what it do. He don't need my help for nothing in the world. Let's see here. D-Real, I customized a Thor girl. I will send you a picture. He did. Beautiful looking action figure. The disrespect he gave old boy was just messed up. Yeah, it absolutely was. Here's the thing, and maybe we don't know how to do it. I get it. We got piss poor examples out here. I'm gonna give it up to my brother. A couple of years ago. Hey, and Ray, you might want to learn something. My brother said, you know what? Nah, I don't like the way this is going down. Let me try and get things chopped up behind the scenes. That's grown man stuff. That's grown man stuff. My brother reached out to me and somebody else and said, hey, let's do this a different way. Now everybody got to be grown. Everybody got to be grown. That's not always a given. But somebody got to want to be grown. Well, I'm gonna give it up to my brother. He said, hey, my brother was grown in that minute. And in my brother being grown in that minute, I said, you know what? Say less. Let's make it do what it's gonna do. Now, things didn't transpire because all parties would have to be grown. And I don't ever think that there's a clock on being grown. I don't think there's a set time on how long it takes to be grown. Grown is grown. Grown is grown. Well, that ain't how it worked out, but somebody wanted to be grown. It's got to start with somebody. Ray, if you him, be him. Don't play with it. You keep up with these notes. Kamoyo said the disrespect he gave old boy was just messed up. Yeah, man. And I don't think people really understand. It's like when you say stuff like that, because even folks try and get you to walk it back and everything like that. I saw where Ryan tried to give Channing a chance to walk it back. And he was like, oh man, you know, nah, bro, you grown. You grown. We ain't talking about how another man style his damn hair. Cause I'm Kanye West. I'm gonna say it one more time. Kanye West. Everybody sitting up here. You talk about Russell's hair, Jay-Z's hair. Yeah. Let's keep this thing a buck now. Because if the style make you lame, Russell cooler than quite a few cats out here. Chris Brown ain't have a pompadour. What? Russ can't have one because he play football? Man, please. That man say he dangerous. No, we're not gonna do that. Prince was lame. Buddy walking around here with some whole ass heels out here. Prince was lame. Michael Jackson, High Waters, Mike Lane. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't know. You know what? Maybe I look at lame being something completely different. You having your stuff together don't make you lame in my book. you having your stuff together. Don't a hairstyle, you wearing a trash bag when you don't need to, and we ain't at no museum. This ain't no fashion show. You just doing it. I might look. I'm gonna question it. I don't know if I'm gonna call you lame, but I'm gonna question it. And I'm sorry, Channel. I had a Jerry curl in high school. I got called lame. I'm gonna say it one more time. I had a Jerry curl in high school. I was the first one. First dude to get his ears pierced in high school. All the dudes had something to say when I got it done. Do we think I got it done for them, Channing? Do we think I got my ears pierced, giving a damn what the fellas was gonna think? Did we think I got the Jerry curl, giving a damn what the fellas was gonna think? And I was playing football junior year and senior year in high school. Do you think I gave a damn? Or was I not walking around like Russell Wilson? You know what I mean? I ain't saying, I'm just saying. Listen, I'm out. Hopefully your team did some stuff. I don't know how I feel. Georgia got to play Tennessee. Y'all make sure y'all got y'all notifications on. We're going to be talking about that. Aaron Rodgers, congratulations. Welcome to Pittsburgh. Hey, Justin Fields, I can't say the New York Jets lost today. What I can say is that the Steelers won because that game could have went longer. The Jets could have easily won the game. As far as everybody else, Mr. Ray Smith, your Ohio State Buckeyes look impressive. They do. If you are a Florida State fan, I feel like the number one team in the country should be the Florida State Seminoles. I'll probably be coming back with a college show to talk about the results of this week's top 25 and SEC game and everything like that. But aside from that, we are out. Hit that notification button, share the video, let people know. I just checked. It say we at 1320. 1320. I believe we can get to, I believe we can get to 1400 by the end of the year. Shout out to all the channel members that popped in tonight. Mr. Ray Smith, Kamoyo King, Gray, thank y'all so much. Everybody else that subscribed. Big Jarence, you pulled up. My brother D-Real, he's a member. My brother D-Real, he's a member. Mr. Moloch pulling up. Jarence pulling up. Jarence pulling up. Big Jermaine pulling up. Thank y'all so much. Kamoyo King, Nitellum pulled up. Man, thank y'all. I really do appreciate y'all. This has been a blast. We got to do this again. Thank you so much. We got to do this again. Make sure you got your notifications on. We're going to be bringing, we ain't forgot. We got to bring to you the legacy of the mantle. We got to bring that to you. And if you've been checking out how we were doing our videos today, y'all gonna have to say something if you want a comic book review. Other than that, we're gonna get these views out here. We're gonna get these shorts out here, give you a brief synopsis. You want me to tell you what the comic book is like? I'll be more than happy to do that for you. Aside from that, thank y'all. Hit that like button, hit that share button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. We need that. It keeps the channel free. It allows me to be able to focus on what I need to be able to focus on and get you all the entertainment sports news that you need. Aside from that, remember the late great Don Cornelius, Chadwick Boseman. Speaking of Chadwick Boseman, to Words and Pictures Studios. Y'all let us know what the status is going on with that Chadwick Boseman biopic. We are absolutely looking forward to it. That said, we out. In the meantime, between time till next time, I wish each and every last one of you love, peace, and soul. We out.